And it is Tuesday, September 13th, 2022. It's hard to keep track of time. Time is moving so quickly for me. I don't know. I remember Art Bell. I used to listen to Art Bell on Coast to Coast AM. I miss him. Pretty good shows. I mean, listening to those back in the late 90s. It's just good stuff. Mid to late 90s. He had this concept called the quickening. I think he wrote a book. It might have been with Whitley Strieber. The quickening, to where things are going to accelerate. You know, you're used to kind of a time frame. Okay, it goes along, and then boom, it really starts accelerating. You know, time goes fast. And that was when the internet was first starting to kind of roll out. I mean, websites, if you looked at websites in the late 90s, oh my gosh. It looks like my website, clintwestwood.net. Just a bunch of links on it. Maybe some images here and there. Because it was difficult to get online. I mean, it was dial-up. And people don't understand what dial-up modem is. Somebody put a tweet out, my buddy Jason, Flash Daddy, on Twitter, and had an image of the dial-up modem. And he says, I remember those days, and now it's just there. And it is. I mean, the internet's just like there all the time. You're not having to establish a connection because your connections are all established all the time. I mean, we used to have to. If you had a phone line in your house, I know this is unheard of stuff. You had a phone line in your house, you would tie up that phone line, unless you want to pay for a second one, which is another 30, 40 bucks a month. Nobody could afford that, 25 years ago. But you would have a phone line in your house to where you would take phone calls. And if someone couldn't get through, if you didn't have an answering machine, it would just ring and ring and ring. Couldn't text anybody, it's like, hey, pick up. No. And then what you would have to do, you'd have to take that phone line out of the wall or put a little coupler on it to where you could connect that to your computer, and you'd have a modem in your computer. Then that modem would dial up a number over that phone line to get you connected to the internet. And it was slow. I mean, you're like 56K, baby. I got fast modem. It's not 28.8, but it was, you never get that fast. And it was that ding, ding, the famous AOL sound. But nobody could call you while you're on the phone. You're tying that line up. So it just seems so physical. You had to make that connection to get online, and once you got established, you're like, yes, I can actually get online and do something. It wasn't like real time where you pull up an app and you go to a restaurant, you put an order in, and then boom, the restaurant has it, you get your points on the app. Nobody gets to go in the dining room anymore because we're just completely going that route. It's just like the internet's always here. It's crazy. No, speaking of restaurants, I saw an article the other day to where, ever hear of ghost kitchens? It's where it's really not a branded kitchen. It's just it's a place where they make the food, and then maybe Uber Eats comes and picks it up, or a food truck picks it up. And then, these companies can brand it. It's like startup companies, it's like, hey, I'm like taco and a truck, whatever, 3 guy tacos. And it's you just kind of create this. It's almost like a virtual brand, this virtual food. There aren't any storefronts. It's a ghost kitchen that makes the food, and then a car with branding might deliver it, Uber Eats, or or something else, or that food might go to like a food truck, and deliver it. It's where it's going is they don't want you in the restaurant anymore. They don't want you, especially fast food. They don't want you to come into the restaurant. They are automating things to such a degree that it becomes impersonal. You want food? We'll get you your food, but don't come here and get it. We'll deliver it to you. And if you do come, just come through the drive-thru. We don't want you in here. And I get it from the standpoint of, I used to work in fast food. I used to manage a fast food restaurant. And you got the dining room to clean up, and it's like, okay, we're going to close the dining room an hour before, because you got teenagers working for you. You got to get them out of here at a decent hour, so you close the dining room, or at least most of it, and then leave a little section open for the, the stragglers that want to come in. But you'd close your dining room an hour early, typically. hour earlier than the store closes and leave the drive-thru open that last hour. Because you got to clean it. You got to scrub it, you got to freaking tile and clean up everything around the chairs, but it's just, anyway, it's just a hassle. It's a hassle to do. And then you've got people that you deal with, they come in, they get rowdy, they come in drunk, they come in, and it's just, I can see why at some point fast food restaurants anyway don't want to deal with people. It's like, you got here, you probably drove, eat in your car. And that's kind of the route. That's where we're going. And it saves money, because you have to save money and cut costs in this day and age, because we just had an inflation number out, 8.3% inflation year over year for this month. So it's been running over 8% the last few months. I mean, we're clearly over 8% stated inflation. Now it's more than that, but let's just say it's 8%. I mean, are you keeping up with an 8% raise? Are you going to get an 8% raise every year? I doubt it. So restaurants, businesses have to cut back. They need to find a way. Oh, I'm in the sun. The sun's moving further south. You have to find a way to cut costs. And that's like everything. And so you depersonalize it. And so what you're seeing is more app driven. Hey, download the app. We'll give you points. We'll give you rewards. And you'll probably see less advertising on television. You're not going to see as many ads there. You'll see more directed ads, because they can do that with algorithms. They can hit you on your phone and show up in your feeds and social media, and they will have a, more directed advertising. And if you download the app and you turn notifications on for the app, they're hitting you all the time. Hey, this is 2 for $5. Come visit us today. And then you get a better deal, but they're targeting you directly, which is a lot better than mass marketing. And so you're seeing it become, you ever watch those science fiction movies to where you're walking down the mall or walking in the airport, and then you'll see an ad targeted directly to you that'll say, well, hi, Clint, would you like a cigar and a duty-free bourbon? And it's, it talks directly to you. And especially, if you've got your ear pods in, maybe you could bust in, hey, connect to the airport, advertising app, and you can get deals as you walk through the airport. And so everywhere you go, it's like, boom, boom, you get this ad, that ad. Hey, stop in here for a bagel. Hey, stop over here. Technology has allowed this. And I guess that's my point in all this. Technology has changed the world in such a way where we don't have a dial-up modem and we choose to connect to the internet. Hey, I'm going to get online. I'm going to go do this, download that. And then, I disconnect. So, hey, he's usually on the internet from 5 to 7 p.m. Don't bother calling his house because the line's going to be busy. That kind of thing. Well, now you're not opting in. You're not saying, hey, I'm going to connect to the internet. No, your device is always connected to the internet. You're always accessible. You're always able to be hit and advertised to. And what's the next extension of that? Your phone's already your tracking device. It has everything on it. What's the next extension? Are we going to do this Neuralink thing that, Elon Musk is proposing and rolling out, to where they put this implant in your head under the guise of, hey, it might help people, who have disabilities, brain issues. But if you start putting that in everybody's head, everybody could be connected to the internet, right? Especially if you've got these satellites that he's putting around with, I can't even remember the name of it. It's a satellite internet, to where it's Starlink, I think it's called. I mean, there's a futuristic term if you ever heard of Starlink, to where it internet everywhere. And that will become affordable at some point. It probably already is in the big scheme of things. So you've got everything being connected all the time. What happens when it's you? I mean, you've got data on your DNA that can be stored. Terabytes of data can be stored on your DNA, and that's been proven. So what happens if they start storing what if you're the device? What if you become the device? You're the cell phone. You're the one with the apps installed on you. You got your own energy source. You don't need a battery. You got a constant battery. You got your heart. As long as you keep everything running. I mean, think about it. Kind of a scary thing. But that's where we're at. Everything's always connected, always on. You're always tracked and traced. Everybody's in the past, oh, don't take the mark of the beast, the mark of the beast in the right hand and the forehead. And you think, well, maybe you're voluntarily taking it. Maybe they're not, maybe they're just making you want to take it, making you want to be a part of a beast system that can be controlled. Now, I'm just not saying that's the way it can go or will go. It can go that way. It can go either way. It's just like any other tool. So it's really up to us. Got the ability right now, though. I mean, see, that's the whole, this whole system with everything rolling out and all the technology and all the interconnectivity. It just tells me that we have got to have money that works digitally like that. We have to have money that's verifiable, money that, once you pay it, it's paid, and there's no questioning it. It's got to be done in real time. It has to be trusted. And so that's where the blockchain comes in. I mean, it's an absolute no-brainer to me. If we're going to continue to evolve technologically, the blockchain is necessary because it does represent sound money. It is sound money. It gives you the opportunity to send it and it be received, and both parties know that it happened. You're not waiting on a bank for it to clear. It looks like I'm bald. Look at this. Look at it. Hey, Westwood. Got no hair, look. So it's what I should do. I leave this in the car all the time, so maybe I'll get a question. I should wear the MWeb hat. Maybe that'll make it look a little bit better. No, probably not. But you need sound money. You need money like this. You need Litecoin, Mimblewimble, privacy. In a world where everything is going to be completely open, they're going to be able to see everything you do. You're going to want some privacy. You're going to want to be able to transact privately with money. Litecoin affords you that option with the Mimblewimble, MWeb. It allows you to be able to do that, and you can do that right now. As that rolls out on phones, it's a no-brainer. Absolute no-brainer. You have privacy of money. You have sound digital money. Sound money for the digital age. You have something that, really, you don't have any other coin. Yeah, there's other privacy coins. The thing is, though, you don't have the liquidity of Litecoin, something that's been around for 11 years, running nonstop on every ATM, every exchange. I saw Litecoin was up a little bit against Bitcoin. Bitcoin kind of dumped a little, I won't say dump, but went down, and Litecoin popped up a little bit. So what you're seeing is that adjusting to the real value of the coin is really what you're seeing right now. You're going to see it take its true market value, what its real fundamental value is, and the market will reflect that. And you'll see it strengthen against Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin might let's say it only goes to $30,000. Well, you might see Litecoin at $250 or more. And you'll see it continually close that gap to where, yeah, Bitcoin might not go up that much, but Litecoin's definitely going to outpace it and gain strength against Bitcoin. That's where we're at in the cycle. It's inevitable at this point. You've got a halving reward coming up next August for Litecoin. And now people are saying, well, the hash rate's so high on Bitcoin that it might see its halving at the end of 2023 instead of 2024. It might be sped up. Wouldn't that be an event next year? Both of them, the block rewards get cut in half. So that means there's less Bitcoin and less Litecoin coming onto the market. That's definitely going to suck up more of those Federal Reserve notes, those dollars that they print out of nothing, those non-dollars. The next year will be, I think, very good for Litecoin. It's going to do very well. The technology has been built into it. Now it's just a matter of it rolling out so people understand how to use it. And at first, it's not that easy. I did it, and it takes some time. But you can make a privacy transaction, an MWeb transaction, pretty easily. And as that becomes easier and easier and more simple to use for people, they can use it on their phone. It becomes, more like what you're used to as opposed to, doing dial-up internet, because that's kind of how it feels right now when you do an MWeb transaction, like a dial-up internet. Okay, I got to do this, download this. Okay, set this up. Okay, how do I do this? And as it becomes easy to where you don't even have to connect, it just connects for you. Your phone, your apps just do it for you, and you just click a button and say, yeah, make it an MWeb. Put it in MWeb. When it's that easy, the price is going to reflect it. So the point is, when you've got not 60 anymore, like $65 Litecoin today, you might want to really consider what value proposition that is. $65 of 65 Federal Reserve notes for one Litecoin, when 1/100th of a Litecoin is all you get on average, for everybody in the world. 8 billion people, 84 million Litecoin. That's a 1/100th of a Litecoin, 0.01. And you can buy one for $65. What a bargain. All right. The Emmys were on last night. Did I watch it? No. We've got all this nonsense with the pomp and circumstance, the pageantry of the royals and the carrying on there going on. Am I watching it? No. Does it affect your life? Any of those things? No. How does it affect your life? Do you think, if you're upset and you're sad and, for whatever reason, whatever emotion you're going through, just like watching the NFL, does it really affect your life? Really? If you turned it off, didn't watch any of this, would it really affect your life? Would your health change? You'd probably be in better shape. Your blood pressure would be down and be much more calm, much more in tune with nature because you don't have those artificial distractions. So would your life be better? Probably. Does it make your life any better watching this stuff and getting worked up about it? Probably not. Look at the things you can do, the things you can change, and just do those. And you know what? It might seem overwhelming. You might feel like you're barely keeping your head above water, and that's probably because that's the way it is, because that's the way the system's rigged. You do have ways to get out. That's why I talk about Litecoin. That's why I talk about physical silver. You want to have things in your possession that if you ever need them, you're going to be able to use them. It's a store of value. But just tackle the things you can. If you get one thing done today out of 10 or 100 that you need to do, at least it's better than yesterday. Leave it better than you found it. All right. I hope you have a wonderful day. Hope you have a wonderful Tuesday. And there's another contest going on. I talked about the Litecoin. Win $5,000 in Litecoin by purchasing Litecoin at a Coinstar. They have a Dogecoin one right now. So you can, you don't even have to go purchase it. You can just sign up. I put a link below and click on that if you want to sign up and try and get some free Dogecoin, up to $5,000. They're giving away $5,000 in the contest. So, it's worth a shot just to do it. The link's below. Click on that. And, hopefully you win. I don't know. They've got other coins on there too. So maybe next week they'll be doing something else. I know they did a Matic one, Polygon Matic, did Litecoin, Dogecoin this week. Maybe it's Ethereum next week or Bitcoin. I don't know. I'll put the links down below, and mention it whenever it is, so hopefully one of you can win. It'd be awesome for you to win $5,000 in crypto. All right. Love you all. Hope you have a wonderful day. And trust yourself, trust your instincts, okay? All right.